Well, I'm quite surprised. So there are humans who are worthy at looking at here on the surface. I'll take my victories where I can, I suppose. Of course, yes, I can indeed speak. I can sing as well. But I shall not, at this very moment. After all, I would not want to anger my captors or provoke them to threaten me with their fishing spears. Though, I've not seen anyone poking around besides you. Perhaps they left me here temporarily, and you found me on your own. I would say that my prayers have been answered, but you seem surprised to find me at all. You doubt what you see in front of you. Yes, yes. I am a mermaid. A siren, as it were. One of the few left in the area. In fact, not many of my kin were too keen on staying when your people began to take over the beaches in droves. Too dangerous. You're not dangerous. Well, we've only just met, my strange human visitor. Under strange circumstances, no less. The ones who captured me, dragged me through this town, and dumped me in this box of water. While I am thankful to be given water to swim in, this is no different than a cage. And yet, you come and find me. It's odd indeed. That said, I think I'm right in saying that humans are dangerous, considering what has been done to me. I'm no mere fish, after all, yet I was hoisted from the water just the same as my tinier ocean neighbors. I'm just thankful I haven't been hacked apart by the fishermen. You wouldn't eat me. Well, I'm glad to hear that I'm not considered a meal up here for you at least, but look at me. Surely you can understand why my kind are cautious. You're just as cautious about my kind. Oh, that caution requires capture and imprisonment for what you fear. Huh? Interesting. Well, then what do you mean about being cautious? It's clear you might have heard tales about sirens and merfolk, stories that might not be entirely true. If you think we are dangerous enough to make prisoners. Some might think we're here to lure sailors to their doom or cause harm to simple beachgoers. Those are just myths, friend. We're really just simple folk like any other, living and thriving beneath the waves. But we're allowed to, at least. Not exaggerated. That's quite pragmatic, but I'm in no position to prove you wrong with action. I only have my word, and if you choose not to believe me, then there's not much I can do. Being in here, you can only do so much. I can barely even swim around. It's quite confining. To be kind about it, the walls of this tank seem to close in on me more and more the longer I stay in it. I wonder, do you know why I'm here? They didn't tell me. I was simply lured into a trap. One moment I was singing to the moonlight, and the next, I was wrapped in a net and dragged here. Only singing? Yes. If you really have to know why, it's because I was admiring the moon. I love the ocean, but the sky is quite beautiful at night. Oh, that look on your face. You don't believe me. I unfortunately predicted that, after all. You aren't keen on helping me escape this tank, or else you would have done something by now. You wish to gawk at the helpless merman as he laments about what happened to him. You're being cautious, my friend. You have the upper hand here. If anything, I need to be cautious of you, but I choose to believe you, regardless of where we swim on this. I understand your hesitation, I really do. Is it so hard to believe that I'm not like the tales you desperately cling to? That I'm not here to deceive or enchant anyone to become my meal? Maybe you're waiting for me to reveal some hidden danger, but I promise you, I've done nothing to deserve this. All I've done is sing. Are siren songs magical? I know of winged creatures having such abilities to capture their meals, but they have no prey in the sky to feast on. We sirens have an entire world of water to ourselves, filled with smaller fish and plants to feast upon. Why would we need human flesh when our home has enough to feed us until we are round like seals? Your human tales are far too ridiculous to understand. You know, it's almost amusing. Well, not amusing, but rather infuriating how humans have painted us with such broad, unflattering strokes. Sirens are always depicted as these alluring demons who lure you to your doom. What else do you humans believe? That fish can walk on land when no one is looking? That the mountains have faces that can only be seen when one does something miraculously worthy of its expression? Those are ridiculous, I agree! And yet here we are. You believe that my kind is dangerous, while we believe you all to be the more dangerous foe on this land, and in our waters. I am the one trapped in this tank, while you are free to come and go, uncaring of what becomes of me. I myself do not even know what fate has in store for me. What? So that is why I've been left alone. I was morbidly curious when some butcher or the like was going to come and strike me down with a blade, but to be an item? Ugh. For some sort of auction? Ugh. Yes, I know what an auction is. We do trade below the water, so naturally we have systems where we can try and outpay one another for certain trinkets and the like. We may not have feet, but we are civilized enough to have our own society. My one mistake was not following my kind and leaving this place behind. Why didn't I leave? Because this is my home. It's where I grew up, and it's the only home I've ever known. My family left, but It matters very little at this point, doesn't it? I'm already here, stuck in this tank, about to be bought by some strange human for one reason or another. Who do I believe will buy me? I have the single clue. All I know is that when a fish is in a box like this, they either end up as a pet or as food. Who would want someone like me? What will they do with me once I'm in their hands? It's strange to think that someone out there will make a choice that will determine my fate. Could they be a collector of rare and exotic things? Perhaps they'll want to display me in a private collection, a trophy of their wealth and power. Imagining that is very unsettling. Another damned tank to be thrown into, another small space to be locked within. All for some human's pride. Then again, it's possible they have no intention of keeping me alive. Someone with an appetite for mermaid flesh may just... I do not even wish to think about being sold to some barbarians like that. You mentioned that before, that humans don't eat mermaids. However, just like you believe my kind to be enchanters with our voices, we believe your kind to be monstrous devourers. And I do not just mean to satiate hunger. Humans, in our eyes, have a way of consuming everything that they don't understand. You devour it, exploit it, and if it doesn't fit into your neat little boxes, you discard it without a second thought. Look at how you've treated me if you want proof of such carnal desire. You claim I can control your mind with my voice, yet here I am at your mercy, unable to attack you or simply escape to my home in the water. I'm not singing now, yes, but what if I did attempt to serenade you to prove my innocence? What would your first instinct be? Call for help? Throw something at me? I've become an object of fascination, of fear for you. The fisherman that caught me and the people who will bid on me. You take what you want from our stories and turn it into something to be feared or marveled at. But when faced with the reality, when we're not just a tale, but a living being existing in front of your eyes, you react as if we're something to be dominated. It's like humans have an insatiable hunger for the unknown from birth to death. When you can't comprehend something, you try to dominate it. You capture us, make us into trophies or experiment, as if claiming our existence as yours will satisfy your curiosity. But let's be honest, in the end, it's never really about you understanding us. It's about possessing and controlling what you don't know. Ugh. Have you ever stopped to consider how that feels from our perspective? To be treated like a curiosity to be claimed without mercy or a threat to be destroyed without care. You claim to feel fear for my kind, but is it warranted or is it just what you were taught to believe? You don't know, huh? Maybe it's not entirely fair to paint all humans with the same brush. I'd like to think that there are those among you who see beyond hunger, who understand that there's more to a being than what you can control or consume. Tell me, when you gaze upon me, do you see prey? Or do you see a being that at least deserves some form of compassion? Do you truly mean it? You're going to help me escape? Oh, there are good humans. Oh, I'm glad that you are one of them. Thank you for coming to my aid and listening to me. Truly, you've done more than just offer me my freedom. To think that someone would act out of compassion and bravery rather than just self-interest. Oh, it's incredible to witness and be saved by. I will not ask why you changed your mind about me, but I am beyond happy to know that your soul is gentle enough to correct this injustice that's been done to me. There, a wheelbarrow. It looks large enough to hide me. I can jump onto it and cover myself in cloth of some kind. I can survive without water for a certain amount of time before my scales start to dry and crack. Please, bring that wheelbarrow around and I will hide myself well. Once you have brought me back to the water, would you like me to show you my song? I do not mean to frighten you, but if you are indeed wanting to disbelieve what you have learned, I would love to sing a song for you as thanks for freeing me. I've always dreamed of sharing my song in a way that truly reaches the heart, and now I have the chance to do so. I do not know if my song has any enchanting abilities. I've not sung to anyone but my family and other fish, and they're not charmed by my voice. If you do not wish to hear me sing, then I shall not. But I have little else to give in return for your rescue. Pearls? Humans believe pearls to be like gemstones. I do believe I have some, so if that is what you want, you shall have it. This is a dock. Where human ships land and trade with other islands and shores, I see. Oh, yes, I can find my way home from here. I must say your ingenuity is impressive. I never imagined my escape would be carried out with such, practicality. Still, I'll not be ungrateful. Once I return to the water, I can easily return to my underwater home, gather some pearls, and bring them to you, somehow. Where will you find me? Well, my home is a little far from here, but I do not expect you to make the journey there. Unless perhaps... no, I won't suggest it. No, I will simply go and return with your reward. I mean, do you trust me enough to be patient for your pearls? You've trusted me thus far. What was I? Well, if you truly do not wish to wait, perhaps you can join me. Foolish, so foolish. If one cannot appeal to curiosity, one must grab hold of their greed. I pity you, and how easily you are swayed by my logic, being blind to the shift of our relationship. It's almost amusing how your compassion has turned into a trap for yourself. Humans may be hunters, but every predator has a challenger who will happily devour them the first chance they get. I no longer need to pretend to be the grateful victim when I have you in my clutches now. Remember how your kindness was repaid with a final, irrevocable act. It's almost poetic in a way. You brought me to freedom, and in return you trap yourself within my clutches. Oh. Now close your eyes and stop struggling. I'll return to my home to wait again, and you'll be nothing more than a forgotten whisper in the sea.